This clinic was started in 1965 by our sisters. I will say it's about 60% in this area who are infected with HIV.
She's got rash, see a rash all over the body and also on the face. There's also fevers getting on. The mothers, most of them are infected, and the children, they are born like this. She's already just a baby, few months old, because she's got it from the mother, and there's the problem which we have with the children. They get all kind of infections because they are prone to the sickness or the infection.
The assumption that most people have for someone who's diagnosed with HIV in South Africa is that it's a death sentence. The medication is available, provided by the government, free of charge. The problem is you can't receive that medication until you're already in the advanced stages of AIDS. The problem being then that some people receive the medication too late.
We have medicine stored up for patients because we are not here for money to gain. We are just here to help because we are missionaries.
I don't know why Jesus loves me so. I don't know why. I don't know why.
All these people who are here now, they are all HIV/AIDS. So now they are on treatment. They come to collect their tablets. Some were still taking tablets, are very old. When we started to work with them, they were already infected, but they are still alive. We say, look at them. We ask them to give a talk or to witness to other people, to say, look at me. I've been taking tablets for many years, for over 30 years, some of them, but I'm still alive.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Tell me about your most difficult day so far.
I think the hardest day that I had was a combination of lots of bad moments, but there was also really good that came out of it. So I ended up sitting with a patient who had been brought in that day. I knew that her name was Zincle and that she was 24 and that she was critically ill and in the stages of dying. And I sat with her for probably 40 minutes and I watched her, take her last breaths. The woman spoke no English, and I spoke very little Zulu, and really was unable to communicate with her. What I learned from that day is that the power of presence is more than any words or any shared language. I held her hand and I sang, "You Are My Sunshine." And at one point, she called one of the nurses over and had the nurse translate in Zulu, "Love you." And it still is something that I haven't quite processed. It was a very, very powerful moment. Love really has no boundaries.
If you look at Scripture, what Jesus did so well was to live on the margins of society. He had the ability to pull out in people that which was very sacred. These people who are suffering from AIDS are really our teachers. If they have the glory of God in them, God is going to be mediated through their illness.
To people we're ministering to. We're not talking down to them. We are not like nice, holy, saved people who are lifting them, poor sinners, up, but we are all in this together. And it takes on a special poignancy when I go into a prison and experience that from these people who are looked upon as castaways, and realize their stories evoke in me a sense of how God's working in my life. I'm involved in prison ministry as a chaplain at the Philadelphia prison, and it's part of what I would call our justice and social ministry dimension of our province.
Being confined forces you to reflect. You know, you have no choice. You know, I mean, for substance abusers, you're dry, clean, and sober. So for some, for the first time in a long time. There are a lot of people who just need a door to be open. They need to be taken out of the cycle, and the religious opportunity creates that.
My morning routine for a lot of years was the finding of money and drugs to get right in the morning so I wouldn't be dope sick. I either had to steal something, scam somebody, whatever it was. So I ended up in prison for things that I had done while I was still getting high. And so when they called Mass one Saturday morning, I went out and I met Father Paul.
So you identify with making some of those wrong choices like that guy seemed to have made.
Once I was given the opportunity not to think with that obsessive, addictive thinking again, I was able to do things like see the value of incorporating some principles in my life, you know, like being nice to people or kind and not lying and not stealing. I was told, like, if you forgive other people, you'll feel better about you, you know, and I thought that was crap, so turns out it's not.
So maybe we could just say a prayer before we split, all right?
Okay.
When I talk to Father Paul, he helps me clarify, you know. He doesn't mind, like, I don't feel like, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm crying, you know. I don't feel like such a sissy. You feel safe in the way that, like, you just know he's not going to be judgmental.
Augustine has some good things to say. Theological reflections are based on four things. God created the world for everyone. We're all born naked. Helping the poor is a question of justice. And greed is the main cause of poverty. We want to change the way people look at problems. We want to look at, for example, racism and see why is it. You know, if we're all, you know, created by God, we all came naked, they're from, you know, why do we have them and us?
We felt that our challenge of accepting this commitment in South Africa was not just to staff a parish. Any priest can do that.
Jesus would cure him.
We felt as religious and as Augustinians, as members who vow to community, that our challenge would be to be a bridge between the white community and the Black Zulu community. That was not an easy challenge. You had to do it with baby steps, but you had to start. Here in South Africa, the Augustinian friars have the apostolate of a parish at Our Lady of Mercy, which is a white parish in Kloof. Part of that parish community are 3 Zulu churches. One is St. Helens. Their building was in terrible disrepair. Broken windows, no electricity. Plus, the community had grown, which was a beautiful thing. And they couldn't all fit in. So several years ago, Father Hattrick, which was the first American Augustinian friar here, began the dream of envisioning a new place of worship, a new church for the St. Helens Zulu community. The people of Our Lady of Mercy, they were also invited and challenged to be involved with it, and they did. When that church was finally dedicated, it was the realization of a dream of building bridges. Because they stood there side by side, black and white, worshiping their one God.
Since the Augustinians came, they made us realize that we have got brothers and sisters up in Kloof. On the celebration, they came down here. We were together. We were just one. It was a lovely day for everyone.
In South Africa, they have this word called Ubuntu, which is I am because we are. And it means I can't really fully exist as a person unless all of us are existing together.
It's a fact that the number of religious priests and brothers is getting smaller and smaller. But the important thing for us to remember is that it's men and women who are dedicated to the same principles and values that make up the church and will be our co-workers, collaborators in the ministries of the future. The opportunity is to build on what we have for a new tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
As much as there's the despair that's everywhere, there's hope. Hope is everything. Hope is why we get up in the morning.
I am somebody. I may be poor, but I am somebody. I may be make mistakes, but I am somebody.
Hope is why we wait in line for 5 hours to see a doctor. Hope is why we stand up in front of a group of students that only speak Zulu and hope that they can gain 5 words of English. Hope is why we're here.
In addition to missions in Philadelphia, South Africa, and Peru, the Augustinians of St. Thomas of Villanova work in Japan and various locations throughout the United States. For the Visionaries, I'm Sam Waterston. Thank you for watching.
So speak your mind, 'cause every dream deserves a chance to live forever. Join the flow, the stream of all ideas, in the search to find to come to some solution. You're not alone, 'cause every dream deserves a chance to live forever. Every dream deserves a chance to live forever. Join the flow, the stream of all ideas, in the search to find to come to some solution. You're not alone, 'cause every dream deserves a chance to live forever.